Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is once again that time of the month where we are going to be picking out my July TBR. Now I am very sorry if I sound just a little bit nasally today. I'm trying to get over a cold. Please just bear with. But how my TBR jar videos work is I have a jar full of random prompts. I've actually added in 2 new ones. I've replaced an old one and I've added in 1 new one. In each one of these videos, I draw out 8 random prompts, which leads me all over my bookshelves, sometimes onto my Kindle, sometimes to Google if I'm really desperate. And basically the aim of the game is to end up with 8 random books that are ideally off my physical TBR, but just on my TBR in general that I am going to be reading during the month of July. So yeah, I hope that all made sense. If you don't know what a TBR is, it stands for to be read, which is basically just a bunch of books that I want to read. Alright, with all of that out of the way, let's do this thing. Prompt number 1. Give him a good little mix around. I want this one. It's already half unfolded. Okay. Oh my god, this is my new prompt. Maybe that's why it wasn't folded up that well. Oops. This prompt says to choose a book with similar vibes as your favorite movie. If someone asks me my favorite movie, I'm probably gonna tell them 10 things I hate about you, but that is kind of like a high school rom-com romance kind of thing, which I personally don't like reading about anymore. I'm 22, I've graduated university. I don't really want to read a high school romance. So I do have a little bit of an other movie hyperfixation at the moment. I and all of my friends at the moment are currently obsessed with Pirates of the Caribbean. I rewatched the first movie yesterday and it's just, oh my god, it's incredible. And I am gonna out myself right here. We're a couple of minutes into the video and I'm already getting vulnerable with you. Commodore Norrington? I don't want to talk about it, but I do actually really want to talk about it in the wig as well. Oh, I've outed myself so bad. I'm gonna retract into my shell right now and we're gonna choose a book. So a book with similar vibes to my favorite movie. Currently obsessed with Pirates of the Caribbean. I'm gonna try my best to find a pirate book. I think there's like a few young adult ones, like maybe Daughter of the Pirate King, or another one's coming to mind. I can't think of the title. It's like a very, is it like House of Salt and Sea or something? Is that a pirate book? I'm actually going to look into that. Otherwise, in terms of my physical TBR, I have, where is it? A Ship of Bones and Teeth by Corinna Halley. I tried to read that one probably 6 months ago and I got really freaked out by the writing style. But I know Corinna is very widely loved, so I think that's just a me issue. I think I just have to push through the first kind of like few chapters of exposition and setup and kind of like outlandishness to actually get into the story. But let's look into A House of Salt and Sea. Have I even got that title right? I don't think I do. What book am I thinking of? Oh, I know what book I'm thinking of and I thought the title was wrong. I'm thinking of To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. Is that like a kraken or an octopus? That's kind of giving piratey vibes, right? Siren royalty and the most lethal of them all. To punish her daughter, the Sea Queen transforms Lyra into the one thing that they loathe most, a human. Why are they all Little Mermaid retellings? I really just want a good like swashbuckling pirate romance. Sea of Ruin did it for me. I really liked Sea of Ruin, but I've read it. I've read it. Just to be a little bit silly, I'm gonna grab down A Ship of Bones and Teeth. I figure if I'm gonna choose a slightly unhinged sounding Little Mermaid retelling, I may as well choose the one that's on my physical TBR. So this is A Ship of Bones and Teeth. We have a princess who sold her soul to the sea witch and gives up a life underwater in exchange for the love of a prince, Prince Eric, of course. But after a decade of abuse and misery inflicted by the cruel prince, Marion wants nothing more than to leave him and her royal roller behind and find the sea witch to reverse the spell. An opportunity presents itself when the prince and princess are traveling overseas and are taken hostage by a band of notorious pirates led by the fearsome Captain Ramsay Bones. Captain Ramsay Bones Batista. Marion has heard stories about him. The ship is supposedly haunted and crewed by the damned. It's giving very much Captain Barbossa. Wait, Batista? Is this like a Captain Barbossa fanfic? Wait. Because low-key, and I only just recently realised this parallel while getting back into the Pirates of the Caribbean, Sea of Ruin is low-key like Commodore Norrington, Jack Sparrow, and like a girly pop. And then this one, is this Barbosa? Batista? What the hell? Fortunately for Marin, she learns that the captain also has a score to settle with the Sea Witch. With any luck, Marin may be able to get her old life back, even if it's being held in the captain's wicked hands. But Ramsay gets more than he bargained for when he learns who and what Marin is, and that her appetite for revenge, freedom, and bloodlust rivals his. Meanwhile, Marin finds herself falling for the pirate's dark nature, even as she discovers that Ramsay has a secret more deadly than her own. I think I'm gonna put it on my TBR. I have faith that this might finally be the month that I read this book because I'm so invested in Pirates of the Caribbean at the moment. So I think I'm gonna put it on my TBR. Even if it is Captain Barbosa. Oh my god, I'm just gonna imagine someone else, okay? Prompt number 2. Got a little one, kind of. Okay. Oh! This prompt says a fantasy romance. I fear this is working out just perfectly. There's 2 fantasy romances that I want to read so badly right now. They are both right here. They are both new releases. Gosh, how am I going to choose between the 2? I really, really desperately want to read The Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig, and I also desperately want to read Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry now. I am leaning a little bit more towards Night and the Moth simply because it's a slightly shorter book. It's like half the length, quite frankly. And I've also been hearing just fantastic rave reviews about The Night and the Moth. I've heard less so about Shield of Sparrows, so I'm a little bit more apprehensive. It's also just such a big book. I'm currently reading The Wall of Winnipeg and Me by Mariana Zapata, and the thought of having to do that again this month is actually going to send me to an early grave. So I think I'm going to go for The Night and the Moth. This one, I got the plot wrong last time I tried to describe it, so we're going to try again. Sybil has spent 9 years dreaming of having no dreams at all. She is a diviner. In her dreams, she receives visions from 6 unearthly figures known as omens. From them, she can predict terrible things before they occur, and lords and common folk alike travel across the kingdom of Trom's wind-swept moors to learn their futures by her dreams. Just as her service is coming to an end, a mysterious knight arrives at the cathedral. He's rude, heretical, and devilishly handsome. The knight, Roderick, it's giving Diary of a Wimpy, but it's fine, has no respect for Sybil's visions. But when Sybil's fellow diviners begin to vanish one by one, she has no choice but to seek his help in finding them. For the world outside the cathedral's cloister is wrought with peril. Only the gods have the answers she is seeking, and as much as she'd rather avoid Roderick's dark eyes and sharp tongue, only a heretic can defeat a god. Heretic? I don't know what that means. I've never come across that before. I thought it was just like a descriptive word. Oh, it's just literally a person believing in or practicing religious hearsay. So why can he defeat a god? I'm intrigued. See, I'm intrigued. I want to read it. I want to find out the answer. Okay, I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to put this one on my TBR. Prompt number 3. Right. Let's have a look. Oh my god, this month is going so perfectly for me. I'm so happy. This prompt says to choose a non-fiction book. Now, if you've been around here for a couple of months, you know I had a spat with this prompt and I threw it in the bin. But then I came to the realization that there is a few books on my shelf that I cannot pick without this prompt. I could choose my Norse mythology book over here. This is just Tales of Norse Mythology. It's literally just a recount of all Norse mythology. I did actually buy some transparent sticky notes so that I can annotate it without destroying the book. So, but I do fear there is a non-fiction book that I want to read just a little bit more. And it is Save the Cat writes a novel. I read Romancing the Beach a month or 2 ago and it really just got my creative juices flowing. I really want to recreate that feeling, and I want to actually learn how to write a novel. Hello! I'm so excited. I can't even really give you a description of what this book is. It's literally just a guide to how to lay out a book and how to meet certain beats and like hook a reader, by Jessica Brody, by the way. But I'm gonna slap this one on my TBR. This is purely self-improvement at this point. So yeah, this one's got on my TBR. I'm so happy with my TBR already. I could genuinely finish this video here, but we have 5 more books to choose. So prompt number 4. oh my god, okay, a book that matches my outfit. So this is a really fun prompt. I haven't had it in a while actually, but we're gonna have to shuffle back so I can show you my outfit. I'm currently wearing, I have this really cute fish sweater. I love it. It's like, I'm a Pisces, so when I saw it I was like, oh my god, Pisces. Apparently they're actually sardines, but, and then I've also just got like dark wash jeans on and my little slippers. So what the hell can we do with that? I don't like my chances of being able to find a book cover with fish on it. So maybe we go like white and blue. Could go for a little cozy moment because I'm wearing slippers. I really don't think I'm going to find a book cover with fish on it. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'll try my best. We could do Bear Town by Frederick Bachman. This is actually, if I flip it up upside down, it's very much giving my outfit. We could do Unravel Me by Becca Mack. I don't know that I'm really in the mood for a contemporary. My head is very much in the clouds at the moment. All my options are going to be contemporary. So we could do Tutoring the Player by Rebecca Genchak. It's like a kind of similar blue. I think that's kind of all my options actually. I do think Tutoring the Player is matching me just a little bit better. I'm not entirely certain that I want to commit to a whole new series by starting Bear Town by Frederick Bachman because I'm pretty sure this is like a, I want to say trilogy, but I don't actually know how many books are in the series, but I'm assuming this one's going to end potentially in a cliffhanger, which I think I want to be able to go into the next book immediately afterwards. And currently I have a lot of other books on my TBR that I would rather read more than this. So I think we might go for Tutoring the Player because it's quite short and who doesn't love a good little hockey romance? I did go to a game of hockey on the weekend just gone. We lost because of course we did. Miss Girl has a type. She loves the good guy, responsible and stable, safe. So when a beer drinking, quick-witted, tattooed hockey player asks me to tutor him, I'm suddenly thrust into the world of bad boys and bad decisions. Jordan is a renowned player on campus. He doesn't take anything seriously, except hockey and partying. I'm a wallflower tutoring Valley University's hottest player. Look, I think this one might be a little bit cringy, but it's really short and I think I could probably read it in just like a day or two and it would be a cute little fun brain out for a moment, which honestly might be very welcome after reading The Night and the Moth and A Cat, the Save the Cat. I'm trying to dig like right down to the bottom. Let's have a look. There's a dog hair on it, which bodes fantastically for me. Ooh. This prompt says one person on the cover. Now I am still trying to reread A Fate Inked in Blood and that's one person on the cover. Is that a cop out? I don't know. Otherwise it's like Cruel Prince by Ashley Jade, which I'm not really in the mood for a high school bully romance. I don't know if I ever will be ever again. We could do North of the Stars by Monica James. We could do A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. You know, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna stick A Fate Inked in Blood, yes I have 2 copies, by Danielle L. Jensen back on my TBR because I'm still trying to reread it before I allow myself to go into the sequel. This is a Viking book fantasy romance. It's inspired by Norse mythology. It intertwines the Norse mythology in a really clever way. Our 2 main characters have a drop of God's blood, which means they are slightly more powerful beings. They're able to have powers of these gods that normal mortals don't, which makes them incredibly valuable. And they basically go on a little like a journey across, I want to say Norway. I can't remember. I don't think it's actually called Norway. It's some fictional name. Our main male character is kind of helping the main female character to learn how to use her powers and how to embrace them. And it's such a good book. And this was my favorite book last year. I gave it 5 stars, infinity stars actually. I would love to reread it when I finally get around to it. So I'm going to chuck it back on my TBR. Hopefully July is the month. Book number 6. Maybe get one from the top. I feel like I've mixed it around a lot. Book by an author you've never read from before. There's probably a lot on my shelves. There is one book that I really am drawn to though, that I really want to pick because I know I'm probably going to read it. I really want to read Wild and Wrangled by Lala's Age. You know what? I'm going to do it. I'm gonna pick it. This is another repeat from last month's TBR, from June's TBR, but I know that I'm gonna read this book and I really want to, so I may as well put it back on the TBR so I feel like I'm ticking a box, okay? Alright, this is The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. This is actually gonna be my next read, but what is the date? It's the 1st of July today, so we're out of June. I haven't started this book yet, so I'm gonna put it back on my July TBR. It will be coming to you in a reading vlog, because of course I'm fairly certain this is more of a urban fantasy potentially, but we have gods and monsters. Our main female character made a deal with a monster. She's locked in servitude to him and she's forced to hunt down an ancient relic held by her most dangerous enemy, who I believe is going to be the love interest. So this dangerous enemy, the love interest Sam Keel, hid from everything after the Gods' War, denying his crown and deserting his people, but now an attack on those he loves sends him back to the realm he never wished to return to and into the sights of an enemy he had hoped to forget, which I'm going to assume is Diana, potentially. Oh no, they have to work together. Okay, that's tea. With every world at stake, Diana and Sam Keel are forced to set aside their animosity and work together before all is lost. So this one sounds really interesting. I'm intrigued by what the monsters are going to be. Are they going to be like shadow demons? Just off the vibes of the cover alone? Yeah, I'm going to chuck the Book of Azrael back on my TBR. Pulling a little fast one on you, being a little bit cheeky about that one. So book number 7, we have a lot of fantasy on my TBR this month, which I feel like does kind of depict how I'm feeling at the moment. Prompt number 7. Oh, okay, a book from your anticipated reads of 2025 video. I'm gonna have to go back to that video. I think I put most of the books in the thumbnail, so let's have a look. We have Heartstopper, I've read them. Quicksilver, I read it. Shield of Sparrows. We could also do A Curse Carved in Bone. Bestie Claire is currently borrowing it, but I think I want to tackle A Fate Inked in Blood before I stick that back on my TBR. So this is a contender. We also have Iron and Embers by Helen Shearer, which is over there somewhere. Sin and Redemption by Cora Riley, I've read it. We also have A Night in the Moth, which already on the TBR. We could do Yellowface by R.F. Kuang actually. I do want to read this one just a little bit more, I think. I'm looking forward to Yellowface, but it's definitely something that I need to be in the right headspace to read, I feel like. I'm also just so intrigued to see how Devney Perry is going to do a fantasy, because I really enjoy her Spelltown stuff, but it's not like the most complex. So I'm so, like, even just in the writing style, it's not the most complex. So I'm so intrigued how she's going to write a fantasy. So I'm fairly certain we have a princess who is in an arranged marriage to a prince. She has to be transported across the continent, I think. And a knight is hired to help fulfill that. Oh, have I not read the blurb of this book? Apparently I haven't actually read it until right now. If you're not terrified, you're doing it wrong. The gods sent monsters to the 5 kingdoms to remind mortals they must kneel. I've spent my life kneeling. To their will and to my father's. As a princess, my only duty is to wear the crown and obey the king. I was never meant to rule, never meant to fight, and I was never supposed to be the daughter who sealed an ancient treaty with her own blood. But that changed the fateful day I stepped into my father's throne room. The day a legendary monster hunter sailed to our shores. The day a prince ruined my life. Now I'm crossing treacherous lands beside a warrior who despises me as much as I despise him. Bound to a future I didn't choose and a husband I barely know. Everyone wants me to be something I'm not. A queen, a spy, a sacrifice. But what if I refuse the role chosen for me? What if I made my own rules? What if there's power in being underestimated? And what if, for the first time, I reached for it? I love a good, I'm gonna let you underestimate me so that I can come back and fuck up. I love that trope so much. My TBR is getting chunky, but I'm gonna do it because I think this book is probably, behind A Night in the Moth, the most anticipated book from that video. There we have it. Oh my god, it's such a big TBR. Prompt number 8. My voice is really starting to go, oh my god, okay, wait. Oh, this prompt says a book by my favorite author. Now, my favorite author, I think, because it changes all the time, is J.D. Evans. But I already have so much fantasy on my TBR. I could read Siren and Scion, which is the next book in the series. It's the 3rd. Or I could go back to the very beginning and read the prelude, which is Wind and Wildfire. Let me have a look. I feel like I will probably go into the 3rd book in the series just to continue on my little course through the series. We also, for the first time, I think, have a water mage being the main female character, which I'm so excited for. Now, Siren and Scion, the Mage of the Wheel series, if you haven't heard me crap on about it enough, because I love this series so much, has a really cool, like, elemental magic system. So we've got water, earth, wind, fire, the typical ones. We also have creation and death. So there's a six-spoked wheel. Houses are in opposition of each other. So water and fire. I'm embarrassed by how long that took me to think of. We have mages that can kind of like basically undo each other's power, which is really cool. There's also like different levels to the amount of power that they have. The heroine in the first book is trying to find all of the most powerful and like reunite and restore the wheel to like bring some balance back to the world. Am I making any sense? I'm not sure, but I love this series so much, so I'm definitely excited to get into the third book. I haven't told you a single thing about what it is though, so let's talk about it. She is water, bright and alluring, fathomless and profound. He is a bridge between peoples, artist and criminal, vengeful and compassionate. Amara Matar has risen to the highest ranks of Tamar society by her wits and ambition, but it is not high enough to keep those she loves and herself safe from a past that will not release her. Cassian? Hello. He doesn't have wings, calm down everybody. Cassian Hader has sunk as low as it is possible to sink, but he intends to take back what is his and crush those who took everything that mattered from him, after he's done stealing back all the other lives they've robbed. In exchange for a betrothal that would secure Amara's position and freedom, the Tamarian Sultana, who is the main female character of the first book, baddie, love her. The Tamarian Sultana sends her on a dangerous hunt for lost mages of the third house, once again trying to restore the wheel. In the last place any mage should be, Amara and Cassian, brought together deep inside the Republic, discover they have nothing and everything in common, but their paths were never meant to converge, and there are horrors in the heart of a rising empire that threaten both Amara's plan and every mage in Tamar. Knowing the fate of the circle rests in her hands, Amara must choose whether to serve her heart or her people. He was a shore upon which she crawled from the dark deep of her magic and fell against to breathe and taste the air again. There's also some really, really beautiful quotes in these books. So I'm gonna put this one on the TBR. She's already packed and stacked. So we'll see how we go. We'll see how we go. Don't be surprised if I only read like half of them. Be surprised if I read half of them, because half of them is going to be good. Let's have a quick little recap. So for a book by my favourite author, we're going to be reading J.D. Evans. This is Siren and Scion. For a book from my anticipated reads of 2025 video, I'm picking up Shield of Sparrows by Demi Perry. For a book by an author that I've never read from before, I'm going to be picking up The Book of Azrael by Amber V. Nicole. For a book with one person on the cover, I'm going to be reading A Fate Inked in Blood by Danielle L. Jensen. For a book that kind of matches my outfit, I'm going to be reading Tutoring the Player by Rebecca Genchak. For a non-fiction book, I'm going to be picking up Save the Cat Writes a Novel. I'm so excited to read this one. For a fantasy romance, I'm going to pick up A Night and the Moth by Rachel Gillig. And finally, for a book with similar vibes to your current favourite movie, I'm going to be reading A Ship of Bones and Teeth by Karina Halley. There we have my July TBR. It's ginormous. Wish me luck. Let's see how we go. If you guys have read any of these books, please let me know down below. I would love to hear about it. If you loved it, if you hated it, if you want to read it even, let me know. I would love to have a little conversation with you about some books in the comments. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, if you did enjoy this video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, because I would love to have you here. My Instagram and my Goodreads are always linked down below in the description box if you want to check them out. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. My voice is properly going now. This vocal fry is ridiculous. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Bye!